Hey, you guys are early again this week. Okay, I'm gonna eat my lunch and then we'll talk about Friday sews. Within 2 minutes of pulling out this fabric to talk to you about it, look who decided to make his bed on it. Hello Internet people, and welcome to another edition of Friday Sews. Happy Friday, and I can't believe it's Friday again. I feel like every time I finish filming and uploading my own Friday Sews and then watching everybody else's Friday Sews, it's pretty much time to film another Friday Sews. So time is moving just so fast. Yeah, we better get down to business or else it might be time for next Friday already. So this week I finished my True Bias Nikko top. I'm wearing it here. And as always, let me take you into the other room for a better look. Someday I hope to make clothes that hide the microphone a little bit better. Oh, but before I do that, let me show you the pattern envelope. So this is the True Bias Nikko top and dress. This is the dress version, but I've shown this before. You can make the turtleneck version here either with or without a sleeve. So I chose the sleeved turtleneck version to make. Okay, let's go in the other room and take a look. So this is my True Bias Nikko top. I made a size 14 and I used this gorgeous rib knit from So English Fabrics, and I am absolutely in love with the color. This pattern was really easy to put together. It's only 4 pattern pieces: the front, the back, the sleeves, and the neckband. It came together in like about an afternoon, and I used my serger for all of it except for the bottom hem and the sleeve hems. So for the sleeves and the hem, I used a twin needle on my regular sewing machine. I sewed the entire thing with the wrong seam allowance. So the pattern says to use 3/8 of an inch and I used 5/8 of an inch. So that means that it's about 1/4 of an inch too small on every seam. So probably about 1/2 of an inch overall small. I don't know, it seems like an okay size to me. I think next time maybe a full bust adjustment might be in order. It's drafted for a C cup and I'm not a C cup, so it's getting stuck when I raise my arms on the top of my bust. I think that means I need a full bust adjustment. I do think it's a little bit long, but I think I would probably tuck it in anyways, so I'm cool with that. The one thing I don't like about how it came out was I feel like the hem's a little wavy, and I feel like all my hems are wavy on these knit tops that I've been making. I've been using twin needles for all of them, but I don't have a walking foot for my regular sewing machine. I think that's probably why it's been coming out wavy. But I'm curious, what's your favorite way of hemming your knits? Do you use a twin needle? Do you have a cover stitch? Do you just use some sort of fusible tape that holds it up permanently? What do you do? I'm really excited to start sewing for spring and summer, and I have 2 projects that I want to start for this month. Both of them are related to hashtags going on this month, so I'll tell you about them. The first one, I was watching Polly from the Sewing Edit, and she was talking about Mccalls 7946. I have it right here. 7946, it's this one. And I remembered I actually have this on my Make 9, and I thought I better get going on it, and it would be perfect because I want to make it into just a blouse, and then I could use that for my entry for the hashtag Sew April blouse that the Dahlia Society and the Cloth Edit are doing on Instagram. So basically, I think I would do maybe this version with the sleeves and then just cut it off and make a top out of it. So I want to make it out of this fabric here. This is a Kaufman Sevenberry cotton, and I think it's a little too lightweight to make a dress out of, but I think it'll be really nice for a shirred top. So yeah, as you can see, it has shirring on the bodice, and I have never done shirring before, but we're gonna give it a try. So that will be my Sew April blouse entry. And the second one is the Peppermint pocket skirt for the Sew Together 21 that Inside the Hem is doing on Instagram. And if you don't know, I have that here. Let me take it out. So if you haven't seen the Peppermint pocket skirt, it's this here, and it's a free pattern from Peppermint magazine. And so today I was looking through my stash and trying to find like a fabric that I already have that I could use. And I found this very, very lightweight corduroy that I bought on fabric.com in, I think it was January. I bought it, and I had bought it for a overall dress, but when it came, I realized that it was so lightweight, like it's really, really lightweight. And so I think it might actually be a really nice peppermint pocket skirt because it does have some structure, and so the pockets will look nice, I think. Hopefully they won't stick out too much, but I think it'll give the pockets enough structure to not look too drapey and like floppy. So that's the plan for that one. There, you can see it together. So yeah, so those are both April sewing challenges. Are they challenges? Hashtags? April hashtags? The Sew Together 21 and the Sew April Blouse. So it's April what, 22nd, 23rd? Don't have a lot of time left, but we're going to magically make it happen, right? Right. So the one other project I have in progress is the Friday Pattern Company Ilford jacket, that shacket that I've been talking about the last couple weeks. I've been wanting to make a wearable muslin out of a quilting cotton. So this weekend after I finished this Nikko top, I sat down to work on it, and I'm having major tension issues with my vintage Singer 99K. And I got completely distracted and sat there forever working on tension, and I still haven't figured it out. And every single day I go up there and I work on the tension and I can't figure it out, and I should probably just switch to a different machine so I can actually make some progress on my project. But yeah, I just keep messing with the tension, and then I've been watching YouTube videos and Googling about it. And you know what? Let me take you on a field trip. I'm gonna take you up, I'm gonna show you my vintage Singer, and we can talk about the tension. I mean, there's not a lot to talk about, but let's go on a field trip. Okay, hello, welcome to the loft. So I kicked my husband out. Usually he works there and I sew here. But yeah, I kicked him out, and wow, the lighting is very different up here. Usually I film in front of like a gorgeous sliding glass door, so I get all this like natural light on me. It's a lot darker up here. But anyways, there is the offending machine. Let me give you a better look. Also, I probably should tidy up before company comes, but I don't have time for that right now. So sorry, this is a mess up here. It is an absolute mess of strings. Look, I've been up for 2 seconds and I already have thread all over my pants. Gosh, life of a sewer, huh? Okay, so this is my vintage Singer 99K. She was born in 1950. Her name is Stella. And she's having so many tension issues. This was my most recent tension attempt. Looks kind of okay from the front, but look at that on the back. That is some serious bird nesting. So anyways, I've just been sitting here doing lines and lines of tension testing. Look at this. God, it's such a disaster. Trying to get it right. And what I found is, hold on, let me put this down. So basically my tension issues are coming down to one problem. I can get the stitching so close to being correct, but there are little dots in between the stitches on the top and the bottom. And I don't know if I'm just being a little too nitpicky about it. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this. Well, you can kind of see. So this one I used a black top thread and then a white bobbin thread, and you can see the little dots in between. They're not quite loops, they're just dots. And there's equal sized white dots on the top. So this is like the front. This is the top thread, and this is the bobbin thread. And so you can see the black dots really easily here. You can't really see the white dots, but basically it's the same issue. These little dots, and I can get them pretty small, but they're always there. And I know that this machine can do better than that. I've had tension on it where you cannot see any dots from any side. You cannot see the bottom from the top. You cannot see the top from the bottom. I just hit my microphone. So I know it can do better, and I can't seem to get it better. So I recently learned about the bobbin tension meter, which is basically like a postal scale, and all bobbins are calibrated and require a certain gram or ounce weight of tension on them. And I think for these 99Ks, it's about 30 to 40 grams, or maybe it's only 28 grams, like an ounce. I have to look it up again. So I was trying to play around with that and calibrate the bobbin tension. So what you do is you take actually, let me show you. What you do is pretend like this is in the actual bobbin case. You attach the thread, and then you pull it, and you want to make sure that it's coming out of the bobbin case at the correct ounce weight or gram weight. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining that very well. It's almost kind of addicting to just sit here and mess around with the tension. I don't know what it is about that, but like I'm like pulled to do it right now. You guys hang out there. Okay, so this is where I've gotten to. You can't really see it, but there are red dots in between each black stitch on the front, and the bottom you can see the black dots in between the red stitches. So that's where I got to here. I mean, it's not terrible, but I know that this machine can do better than this. And I know that the stitches can look a little nicer. So I'm gonna keep working on it. If you wanna see, that's where the bobbin is. And you can adjust the bobbin tension on the case on that little screw. Here, there's a screw there. That's where you adjust the bobbin tension. And then this is the tension assembly here on the front. So this machine, there are no numbers. There's no tension numbers and there's no stitch length numbers. That's this one here. So it's all just, you know, figuring it out on your own, really. I used a Sharpie and made a mark so I could like count the revolutions that I turn it. So I can mess around with the tension and kind of keep track of it that way. But yeah, it's pretty rudimentary, but you know, I love her so much and I just can't quit her. I can't quit her. So while I'm up here, do you guys want to hear about what happened to my iron? You do. You want to hear what happened to my iron. I'm going to tell you. Do you know I sew up here in this loft? You can see down there. And I promise it's not as scary as it looks. I've had some comments about it, and there's not really any danger of falling off. I mean, there is a danger of falling off, but I promise. I'm very careful up here. I won't be falling off, hopefully anytime soon, knock on wood. But anyways, so let me show you. Okay, so like I said, it's an absolute mess up here, so bear with me. But anyways, so I have my ironing board here, and let me give you a better look. Okay, so there's the edge of the loft. Okay, it looks really scary on camera. I promise it's not that scary. So what was happening was I was getting some things out of this set of drawers here, and I slid my ironing board that way just to make some more space. And she fell off the loft. It wasn't on, and I don't know what happened because I thought I was being very careful when I was shifting the ironing board over, and I wasn't really shifting it too far. The ironing board stayed up, but for some reason she fell off here onto the floor, and I'll show you the floor when I go back down there. But look, she survived. She actually survived, and she cracked, and look, there are little bits of cork floor in the cracks, and she still works. You guys, my iron still works, and this iron was my husband's before we got married, probably after we started dating, but before we got married. It was his iron. He used to iron his clothes with it, and I inherited it, and it became my sewing iron. It's a Panasonic, I don't know, NIC something, C7, what is that number? NIC78SR. Anyways, not really a sewing iron, but it became my iron for sewing, and it's probably about 15 years old now. And I've been waiting for it to die so that I could get a new iron and invest in a really nice sewing iron. But she survived, and she even survived the fall off the loft, despite the fact that she cracked, and there's literally bits of floor stuck in the cracks. She still works, and I've been using her, and that's amazing. This is probably literally indestructible. Okay, so while the iron survived, my floor did not. Look at this. It's kind of hard to see, but there are like huge, this is a huge divot. It's probably at least 3/8 of an inch deep. And there's another one here. It's not as deep, but yeah, here and here. Kind of looks like Hawaii, actually. Yeah, the huge hole in my floor. My landlord is gonna love it. I'm probably not gonna get my security deposit back, but you know, that's what happens. My husband said he can take a little bit of cork from behind the fridge and maybe like glue it in so it's less noticeable. So we're gonna try to repair it, but yeah, amazing that the iron survived and my floor did not. So welcome back from your field trip. I hope you had a good time. I think that's all I really have to talk to you about sewing wise. On the life front, I'm getting my second COVID vaccine this weekend. I'm very excited about it. I had a little bit of a reaction to the first dose, so either I'm gonna have a huge reaction to the second one or maybe I'll have no reaction at all. Either way, I guess I'm gonna be taking it easy this weekend. As you know, the weekends are my main time for sewing. That's the time I have the loft to myself. So if I don't get any sewing done, that's too bad and doesn't really bode well for my hashtags that I wanted to enter for April, but that's okay. Vaccine takes precedence. Let's see, what else? I think that's really it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Happy sewing, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.